Welcome back to the Press Play Network. I am your host, Brian Clevenger, alongside my co-host, Brian Clevenger. The Olympics and the Super Bowl kicked off last week. That's right, Brian. We're looking at intense competition, long preparation cycles, and a lot of people testing their limits. Now let's start with the big question. Who do you think has the advantage heading into this weekend? Honestly, the ones who know the system, the people who have already put in their hours, learned the mechanics, and optimized their builds. Preparation really is everything at this level. Exactly. You can have raw talent, but if you don't understand the meta, you're going to struggle, exactly in the late game. Late game execution is where champions are won and lost. One bad input, one missed timing window, and suddenly you're restarting the whole run. Run? I mean a whole event. Right. Now, Brian, what separates the contenders from everyone else? Resource management. Knowing when to go all in and save your stamina for the boss at the end. The boss? Right, the final matchup, biggest challenge, when the crowd goes wild. Are we still talking about sports? Yes, and also no, because this sounds an awful lot like video games. You know what? This actually tracks. Same stakes, same pressure, just fewer whistles, and a lot more controller. So, while the world is watching gold medals and championship rings, now we're breaking down the games competing for your time. Now, let's send things over to Brian. Thanks, Brian. Welcome to Press Play, the show where we figure out if a game is worth playing or inject it and move on. I'm your host, Brian Clevenger. We will look at a game that was released back on the Wii, Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympic Games. Then we play a game from today's era, Madden 26. Then we will see if the computer's prediction of the Super Bowl is correct. All that and more coming up in today's episode. So get ready, grab some popcorn and a controller because it's time to press play. We're starting today with a crossover that feels almost impossible. Two franchises and two gaming icons coming together in Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games. The game was developed by Sega, published by Nintendo in Japan and Korea, and released worldwide by Sega. Due to broadcasting rights, licensing rules, and my desire to remain employed, we're sticking with the video games and not showing any footage. Released in 2009, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games was officially licensed by the International Olympic Committee, which meant the game could use real Olympic branding, events, and locations. Its release also lined up with the 2010 Vancouver Winter Olympic Games, making it part of a larger push to tie video games into real-world global events. Rather than focusing on realism, the game leaned into accessibility, combining Olympic sports with motion controls and party-style gameplay designed for the Wii. But what really made this game stand out was the history behind it. For decades, Mario and Sonic represented opposing sides of the gaming world, Nintendo versus Sega. By the late 2000s, that rivalry has softened, allowing the Olympics to become neutral ground where both characters would compete without either side winning. The result was a game built around friendly competition, couch multiplayer, and spectacle. Less about simulation and more about bringing people together. The game went on to sell millions of copies and received largely positive reviews from critics. Now, let's play the game. When you first open the game, it gives you a cinematic of Mario and Sonic, franchise characters, participating in multiple Winter Olympic sports. With a high-octane opening out of the way, it's time to make a profile with a name and country. I figured it was appropriate to name it after the show. Once I finished setting up a profile, I started with Winter Games. You choose between alpine skiing, ski jumping, freestyle skiing, snowboard, speed skating, figure skating, bobsleigh, ice hockey, and curling. There are more, but I only did the events and touched a few of the dream events. Now, some of these events have subcategories such as alpine skiing, downhill, and giant saloon. I did all of these in order to try to get a medal in all the categories. And I will tally up my medal count at the very end. I started with downhill. which was very easy. All you had to do is lean from side to side. I didn't get it on the first try, took a few reruns, but I slid into that podium eventually. Next up was Giant Saloon, which was very easy. I was still getting used to the skiing mechanics, but again, after a few tries, easy. Afterwards, it was time for ski jumping, which the subcategory was individual large hill. This was going to be easy since all I have to do is lead and follow the on-screen prompts, right? No. Oh, well, let's see, it can't be that bad. So you start with pushing the Wiimote down, while on screen it shows you the wind direction. Once you are off, you have to lean towards the direction of the wind. If not, you lose the speed for your run. Then once you reach the end of the ramp, you flick your Wiimote upwards with a jump and maintain balance in the air. You can also press the A button to get a few more distance as well. Then around time you land, you flick the Wiimote towards the ground to land. You initially want to land in the red box, as it is the distance to really score for a medal. You have 2 tries and both will be tallied for your score. No, I had no idea how to do this. I just really went in blind with no instructions. This is one of the few events where I had to use the instructions and tips and was still lost. I really just did it over and over and followed one tip. Wait until the wind is blowing towards the character. Then I was able to win my runs with a possible slight mistake. Alright, no more of that. I don't want to do it anymore. I've done my ski jumping penance and the judges gave me PTSD and a bronze. Well, we have another event where you repeat it 4 times with different characters. I chose Shadow, Amy, Yoshi, and Daisy to be on my team. It took me a few tries because of a few accidents. Okay, no more of that. Next up, we're doing the moguls. Not the Harry Potter muggles, but moguls. This is where you aim for the valleys in between each snow mound, then ramp, do a trick, and start over. That ain't that bad, right? It really isn't. It's just timing. Then we move over to ski cross, which here is easy to do. It's pretty much a race to the finish line. Start with a push, lean for turns, flick up to jump. If you lose speed, you are able to do the same motion as a start where you can flick towards the ground. It was easy to do. I did it first time with a gold medal. Next up is snowboard events, with the sub event being half pipe. Oh, this is gonna be fun. I love X Games. On my first run, I thought I did awesome, doing what each prompt told me until I saw the leaderboard. My total score when I finished was 18.98 points, with the first place being 35.63 points and the world record being an even 40 points. Now I got less than 19 points. How am I supposed to beat over 35 and even reach 40 points? I eventually got a medal looking like I was sword fighting ghosts while I was on something, but it wasn't gold, so I just moved on to snowboard cross, which was snowboard racing with the same controls as skiing racing, so it was easy. I won a gold medal again. Next up was speed skating, and I went as Wario. I went in without looking at the controls, followed the prompts that were given, and didn't know how to get first without being so far behind. My time on the first one was 51.876 seconds. My opponent was 43.177, and to get the medal was 46.036. So this may take some time to beat. Next run I had a good start. Horrible straights and the curves were alright, which gave me 44.293 seconds, which was good enough for a silver medal. Afterwards is the short track. Not the same controls, but similar to other events. Shake on straightaways and takeoffs, and tilt on curves. If you bump into a wall, you'll be stunned and reduce speed. On the curves, you gain more speed if you are on the inside half, which you can get into if you turn at just the right time on the curves. But don't overdo the twist or the game will yell at you. Yeah, bronze medal. Now we do it again, but in teams of 4. Same controls as before, but with the added control. To pass the baton, you next flick the Wiimote forwards. You are able to do so if your speed is locked. I was able to finish in second. Afterwards, it is figure skating. I thought it would be appropriate to choose Peach for this event. With this, I decided to check out the controls first, which honestly, I probably could have done without the instructions, and I'll tell you why in a bit. Before you do anything, you pick a song within a selected list of 6 songs, then you are in. All the controls are on the screen, easy to do. It was not hard to do, I got gold on my first try. Next up is Skeleton. Controls are starting to be used within other events. Flick to start and lean the remote to turn. I will say, it's hard to control. I don't know if it was intentional because straights are easy and turns are hard. If you stay in the path, you'll get more of a boost. I got silver on my first try and an achievement for not crashing into the wall. Now next up is my favorite event to watch, bobsledding. The controls in this are same as Skeleton, but the sled is longer. Now the bobsled took longer this time. The time to beat was 1 minute and 7 seconds. A way to get gold is to follow the path like before and not bump into the walls. In doing so, we'll lose speed almost instantly. I eventually beat it with a silver. Now the next 2 events take a little longer because they're set up as tournament style brackets. Instead of a single run, you're playing multiple matches to reach the finals. I decided to start with curling and save hockey for last. Both events follow the same structure. 2 teams, 4 characters per team, competing through a bracket style tournament. The controls kind of reminded me of Wii Sports Bowling. Aim where you want to put it, practice your shot, then send it. Then you control the other team members to shuffle the ice to make it go farther than you're aiming. Then the other team does their turn and repeat. This event took about 20 minutes in total. In those 20 minutes, that was 2 matches. The first match was easy, but it was the second match that was harder. The second team, the computer team, blocked me right out of the gate on the first round, and the second round I won but didn't get enough points for the gold. So I was able to get silver. After that was hockey. Like I said before, teams of 4 members. With those 4 members, you can position them on the ice. Alright, now let the games begin. A member on each team will face off for the puck. I didn't know what the button was for the face-off, so I just shake the Wiimote to tackle the puck. Which means I actually tackle the other team during the face-off. During the event, I plugged in the nunchuck. The nunchuck helped with the movement, also shaking the Wiimote while you have the puck will shoot for the goal no matter where you are. This event was pretty easy when you pass the puck around to your team. It charges the puck for when you shoot the goal, it almost guarantees a shot. In the end, I was able to win the gold. Now that was all the events with the Wiimote. You can also play with a Wii balance board. Not all events you can play with a Wii balance board. The only ones you are not playable are speed skating, figure skating, ice hockey, and curling. Which I think would be crazy to see me speed skate on a balance board. You still use the Wiimote to select the events, but during the events, it's on the Wii balance board. And honestly, all these events are the same. Just lean around to move. So, nothing new. Then you might have noticed these dream events on the event menu. These are unlockable events. I didn't really touch them since they look like the same events with a little flair. But I did see one event that caught my eye. It was called Dream Snowball Fight. Sounds fun and interesting. You pick 4 members on your team, then once it starts you lock on your opponent and fling snowballs. Every hit is a point. I didn't catch it at first, but once I started pressing the usual buttons, I noticed the lock-on controls a little too late. This was really fun and I highly enjoyed it. Some games are a little confusing and have weird controls, so I would give this game a 7 out of 10. But other than that, it's a great version of the Winter Olympics, and you can watch the Winter Olympics now over on NBC. Oh, and before we go, I won 14 gold medals, 16 silvers, and 2 bronze. You can watch the Milan Cortina Winter Olympic Games now until February 22nd on ABC or Peacock. Before there was fantasy football, esports leagues, or ultimate team card packs, there was Madden. Born in 1988 as a dense playbook-heavy sim endorsed by coach John Madden himself, the series evolved from pixelated 11-on-11 matchups into a billion-dollar franchise, shaping how a generation learned football, argued over ratings, and yelled, "Hit sticks!" at their TVs. Now the Super Bowl just happened. Madden NFL 26 steps onto the field with a familiar formula, a few upgrades, and some big promises. Saquon Barkley leads the charge as the cover athlete, next-gen consoles get exclusive polish, and franchise mode tries once again to win back longtime fans. But with pressure mounting from players and lawsuits piling up over Ultimate Team, can Madden still deliver in the clutch? Let's find out. Before we even get into the gameplay, we need to talk about the Madden's menus, because they are rough. They're cluttered, confusing, and overloaded with pop-ups. I didn't even catch it on recording, but there was a screen I generally couldn't exit without spamming buttons. And if this is the first time a new or returning player sees, that's already a problem, especially when that pop-up is pushing Ultimate Team mechanics right out of the gate. Now let's get into an actual game. As for the matchup, I'm a Saints fan, so that part was easy. I played the Saints against the Chiefs, mostly because that's a co-worker's team, and it made for a familiar challenge. I also played on the lowest difficulty, not because the game is hard, but because it's been a while since I really spent time on Madden. The last one I seriously played was Madden 22. I did technically own Madden 25, but only to get the early access for College Football 25, and that's where my time actually went. I put about 4 hours to Madden 25 and nearly 40 hours into College Football 25. Now let's get into the game. The game looks like an NFL broadcast. The camera angles, presentation, overlays, and player introduction all do a solid job of selling that Sunday afternoon vibe. Player models are detailed, animations are smoother than what I remember, and when a play comes together, it really does look like football on TV. Even the broadcasters add to that presentation, delivering commentary that actually reacts to what's happening on the field. The game played really well on the PlayStation 5. I didn't run into a stutter or a major glitch. The only bug I noticed was the scoreboard was flipped during a quarter transition. And honestly, that was it. Control-wise, Madden still expects you to know what you're doing. To this day, I don't know what every button does, so when I get close to the ball carrier, I'm absolutely spamming inputs. And that's kind of the point. Madden isn't a casual pick up and play sports game. It's built for players who understand football, know the system, and enjoy the level of depth. For me, I don't play a lot of sports games, but football and racings are the ones I actually come back to. And while Madden demands more from the player, the competitiveness is what makes it fun. I played most of my time on the lowest difficulty, and that level the AI honestly felt a little too easy, almost passive. But the moment I bumped up the difficulty, the game swung hard in the other direction. Suddenly reads mattered, mistakes were punished, and there wasn't much of a middle ground. It felt like Madden is built first for experienced players who already understands football, and if you're willing to meet it there, the challenges is where the game shines. Now I do like playing the game, but I think the biggest hurdle for anyone jumping in is the UI and the controls. It really does feel like Madden is built for returning players first. If you don't know what half of these buttons do, the game kind of expects you to learn the hard way, and the menus don't help. So with all that said, I'm giving Madden NFL 26 an 8 out of 10. On the field, it looks and feels like an NFL broadcast, and it's fun when you're locked in. Off the field, the UI and onboarding are the weak points, but there's still tons of here if you're a football fan. And if you're not just doing quick play, you got 3 big modes: Ultimate Team, Franchise, and Superstar. Now Ultimate Team is basically digital card collecting. You open packs, build a roster, and stack boost. If you're like collecting cards and building a dream team, that mode will absolutely hook you. Franchise puts you in a coach/GM seat. You choose a team, manage the whole season, call plays, and try to build your run all the way to the Super Bowl. And Superstar is my favorite. You create your own player, pick a position, start the journey, and try to become a Hall of Famer. So yeah, Madden has a lot packed into it. Dream team, dream player, or a full coach career. It's all here, you just have to get past the menus first. Now yes, the Super Bowl has already happened. This episode was originally planned for last week, but an ice storm threw me off and I was stuck at work. So instead of reacting to the real score, we're doing what Madden does best, letting the computer decide. I set up a full Super Bowl matchup, let the CPU play itself, and recorded the whole thing. What you're seeing here is it sped up fit the segment, but the full file is about an hour and 46 minutes, and I'm not making y'all watch the entire director's cut. Alright, enough of me yapping. Let's see who wins Madden NFL 26 crowns the Super Bowl champion. The winner are the New England Patriots with a final score of 35-37. And that's going to do it for this episode of Press Play. From motion controls and couch competition in Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympic Games, to next-gen presentation in high-pressure systems and Madden NFL 26. This week was all about competition, whether you're chasing a gold medal, a Super Bowl ring, or trying not to wipe out on a ski jump. If there's one takeaway, it is some games are built to welcome everyone in, and others demand that you learn the playbook before you even step onto the field. As always, the goal here isn't to tell you what to like, it's to help you decide what's worth your time and what might be better left on the bench. If you enjoyed this episode, you can catch Press Play streaming on KTO now at 8 p.m. Central Time. You can join the conversation over the Press Play Discord. That's where clips, community picks, and future episode ideas live. I'm Brian Clevenger. Thanks for watching and thanks for playing along. And until next time, grab a controller and press play.